Hello and welcome. Currently 10:23 p.m. and the date is March the 20th, 2021. My name is Derek and this is the Money Charts channel where, like always, all bets and trades amongst the like within each his own risk and their own reward. Okay. $8.77 is the current price in US dollars for that of Theta, which is now over 10 Canadian dollars. It's getting to that interesting point as I was stating back as this thing was going up. This thing approaching near 10 is going to put me in a difficult situation as far as my Theta are worth too much. And that's a good problem to have, I would think. But it's overextended. How much more overextended can it get? Will it get? And the more things go up, the bigger the pullbacks are going to be. And markets can correct either through that for price or time. And when you have a big correction, either a long time correction is going sideways for over a year or around a year, or a big price correction hasn't even happened since it hasn't even had any real time under the 18 average of lows since, March of last year. And even then it didn't spend much time below the 18 average of lows. It's been in this just amazing uptrend thus far. On the weekly chart, there's just a lot of this straight up madness, I guess you can say. Way back when with Theta. And way back when is even before the data even starts in here, but not much before then. This is April of 08. This is just a couple months before, like February. On the JSNP4 channel, Miss White Dove, whom has like an American Idol psychic, if you will, meaning she was on a show like American Idol for psychics, however, and she kicked ass on it. Or she's a mainstream psychic, I suppose. She's been on a lot of Canadian television shows like City TV and such, so she's popular. Yada yada on that, but she mentioned Theta is going to go $1,000, and this is like a 10-cent coin. They pushed it up to 10 cents. I can't say they pushed it up because it's not like JSNP gets major viewers, but enough for the price went up a bit. But it was under 10 cents as she was saying it. So if it was under 10 cents and it's almost $10, that's better than a 100x gain. If you talk about under 8.7 cents anyway, or 8 cents, whatever. And you need a little bit better of a 100x gain now to get to 1,000, halfway there. She said it takes some time, and quite frankly, look, she's mentioning longer than this. And I do have to think that if that $1,000 price target, will it come in, if it is to be true. That's what I'm going to say, on the situation of it being true. Meaning if it's not, all this is like yada yada, nothing. This doesn't count. But if it is true, will it happen sooner or later? And I don't think it's going to be sooner. It's going to be more later than sooner. Meaning not in 2021. Probably not even, unless it's late, not even in 2022. Again, unless it's late 2022 or close to 2 years from now. But I'd even go closer to 23 or 24, given what I remember hearing from what she was saying at that time. Now, as far as where we pull back down to when we do, we'll see. Now, what she mentioned way back before, even before it broke out past a dime, really, but more in the last couple of years, but at least a year from now, I think, is that the key psychological numbers would be just that. And we're entering one at the 10. 10 cents is a psychological number? Yeah, I'd say so. But, that's not what the numbers were. It was $1, then 10, then 100. Then 1,000 would be key levels. As it stands right now, $1 don't look too key. It was not resistance. Thus far, it has not been support. When you do not find resistance at a key level, and what yada yada and how you find it, but the key thing is you expect a concise, nice move to the next one. And if, 10 is a nice move, it's already appears below it. And if one is to be key, I don't think that might be, it might come back down to $1. And when you look at price action, if it were to top anywhere near 10, this would be a significant higher low if it were to do any type of a monstrously great type of correctionary move. And you know there'd be a lot of panic once it goes down to 3, 2, 2.5, 1. But you got to expect when these markets are as volatile as they are, there is going to be a good price correction at some given time. Picking tops and bottoms, you can say that's a fool's game. And one of my teachers, pretty much that's what he did say to me and all the other students he had. But you know, and one of the reasons why it is, that's what I'm saying, is because this big fall down could happen when it tops from 40 and it might go down to like 6 or 7. Then that makes sense in itself. So if it goes up that much more, there's a decent chance that the price will be significantly lower than this in the given future, or lower than 7, even closer to 6. Because again, even if a market eventually does top 40, it wouldn't surprise me if 6 is the bottom on the next key high, key low kind of deal. Because last key low is under a dime. So higher low in the next pullback, yeah, I think so. For Fibonacci, I mean, I can just put in 10 just for whatever, just to see. But for now, the highest number is $8.97. This low is 3.5 pennies. So 3.5 cents is the low. The high, we're going to do 900 cents. And I'm going to be focusing on what the 23.6, no, 76.4. Yeah, 76.4. And that's going to be a pretty small number in itself. Because whenever you have a monstrous move, a 23.6% is a very good correction. It almost trumps a normal 38.2 or even 61.8. So 900 divided by 3.5, that's like 200 and good. That's well over 200. To the root of 0.764, multiply 3.5 cents again. And then after that, the 61.8 number is going to be big too. And that's $1. And 76.4 right now is 2.5. And if I change this to $10, it's probably not going to be too much of a differential. $1.15 and like 2.63. Yeah. And then a Pierce Extra on the 115 would be down to $1. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. Market goes to 10, pulls back down to $1, and then goes much higher. Other possibilities is that it does only do that of a, and this is again if $10 area is resistance. And if we don't get resistance at 10, we could be seeing 100 in the next like many weeks, or 50, 60. That's how sick it is when you don't get support and resistance where you're supposed to, and how much further those moves can escalate to and from. Okay. I mean, move back here is like nothing of a move when you think about it. Really isn't much of a move. So I think if it only does a 23.6% correction from here, it would be like yada yada, and then we break resistance, and you can blame Seinfeld for me saying yada yada all the time. I never ever said it before that amazing episode when they had it based on that. So you have the sideways move, and then it goes higher. We go to like 80, 100, 152 to 1,000, whatever. But if we have a very good price correction and we top in this area, it's going to go down to $1, probably. And don't even be surprised if it would be something like, and then the dollar prediction would be right. So as a key level, of course. So then it comes down, maybe even come back to where we came from, like at the lowest price at like 70. Then it comes up, does something like this, and then we're in retracement mode from key low to previous high, and then it beats it later. But at some point, a correctionary move where it breaks down below the 18 average of lows on these weekly and monthly charts will happen. On the monthly chart for Theta, as it goes, it is still just decently overextended, as I look at it. Because I know there's only so much data. It pretty much broke away from it here on August. A little bit of sideways move, a decent size move, and 18 average of lows is just going to be crossing $1 soon. So that's just another Something to look at as far as that is concerned as well. Okay, let's. This is another point where this gets interesting too. Is as far as the global economic conditions are concerned for the market, I don't think we're toppy at this time frame. And if the rest of the crypto markets do well, let's go to BTC in here. Well, before we do that, let's take a look at Theta against Bitcoin. It's pretty much doing the same type of deal. It's nicely moved us breaking it, but just getting above this resistance here. And just a fantastic, fantastic month against Bitcoin, outperforming it better than double. Daily chart, yada yada. I don't want to say that all the time, but need a different word to define as the same thing. But just a beautiful, beautiful run that it's been having so far in Bitcoin against the dollar. I do believe this is going to 100. I put a thing before, and because of that, I mean, it's in the area of my lowest conservative figure I think this would go to, which is between the 60 to 80 number is the lowest area of this top. And if you've been following my videos, you've heard me talk about this before in the past. Is back when it was in here. Well, if we break resistance, we had this high, and realistically, like normal level, not aggressive, not conservative, is barely over 100 or near 100, and aggressive is where I go to 2 and higher. I don't think we'll ever get to 1 million. You never know though. As it goes for myself within cryptocurrencies, I'm again deciding to lower the scale down. So things like, and I talked about this in a previous video, NFTs, non-fungible or tokens, which is just looks like an amazing market. I don't feel like I just don't want to do it, and it's an amazing idea, which is I'm completely neutral on. I can see why I would, and if I need to, I most certainly would get into it, but I don't need to. And how much do I really need to get into the whole trading mechanism? When I look at the coins that I own, silver is my most favorite, and I've got a decent order coming. I'll be here early next week coming, and several 10-ounce bars, a big 1 kg coin, a whole bunch of single rounds, and even a 1/4 ounce of gold, and gold as well, of course. Real physical assets, tangible. But I look at things like, when I used to work at a factory, I made plastic, I guess you could say, and the powder in which plastic would, as far as where I would make it from, would come from. I think it was resin, I can't remember, but well, I had to put in 280 kilograms per batch, and each batch was about 288 or 290, depending on how much was weighted in color and lubes and such. But it was an asset. It's a raw material that could be used. But would I ever hold it, and how easy would it be to sell it? See, silver is a real raw material that is damn easy to hold, and there's not many assets out there that are damn easy to sell. Granted, cryptocurrencies are damn more liquid than gold and silver. I mean, how easy it is to sell silver, or well, that too, but easier for cryptos, and then move it into something else. It's even more liquid than cash, it seems, in many cases, or the most liquid there can be. Maybe that's what's phenomenal about cryptocurrencies. Am I getting out of it? Not even close. Some coins, yeah, but within the precious metals, gold's an awesome metal, silver's an awesome metal, and I've been using, and cryptocurrencies is a measure to get more. So what is barely my largest purchase ever coming by 5 ounces of silver and 1/4 ounce of gold, more than my largest from before, is the start of what could be decent size orders moving forward, as that's been the plan. Cryptos into precious. And as I've been thinking, I don't know what to think about Bitcoin as we move to this next big high, if it's going to be all-time highs that I'll never see again and all this type of stuff. But the easiest measure is if portfolios get really high, liquidated into real items, home renovations, which is being done, stuff that nature. I'm actually on a couch right now, in which is a day or two old. But that didn't come from cryptos. That came from daily fantasy. And that's been kicking ass for me as well. And therefore, I'm just excited and antsy about this purchase. And it's not that big of a purchase considering it's only 5 ounces more and a quarter ounce of gold more than my largest. And I'm getting like Sunshine Mint 10 ounce bars in a lot of them. But, and which mean like, yeah, they're like whatever coins are just added to the portfolio. But stuff like Tezos, I want to hold on to it. I think that's a coin I do not want to sell any of, other than for ratio flip tradings. Ripple I want to get out of. But you know what though? And it's having an interesting spot. I had a good day today. Just another attempt, of course. I got above the 18 average of highs here. Come back, another move here today, or in this session on Saturday. So far, so good. But scale out of it and just boom, I'm out of it. At one point I'll push this X button and I just won't look at it anymore. Now Theta's, it's like the granddaddy. T-Fuel is just kicking ass too. Having a little bit of a pullback. This level of resistance I pointed, yeah, whatever. It was only luck. It pierced extra. Not like, I mean, it was luck. Litecoin. I'm just going to stay the course with Litecoin. And maybe I should have, it's just slowly grind out of it. I got a lot of it and I still got a lot of it. I've been continuously selling it in other coins. H-bar is a fun hedge. I'm just going to hold on to that. And DOT, same thing. So I guess it's only 4 coins really. DGB. I just got to get it. I got to get into something, and DGB will be one of them. Bitcoin Cash. I'm not a big fan of Bitcoin Cash right now. That'll be one of them as well. And that's what I got to seriously start doing, because DGB's got a decent sized portfolio, but nothing major. Bitcoin Cash has got a decent size amount, so I gotta maybe turn into home renovations or figure something out with it. But I got really unhappy with Bitcoin Cash when I made my silver purchase, because I bought silver with Bitcoin Cash, with Bitcoin, with Litecoin, with Theta, and a microscope. And I just had 30 or 40 Teslas on the exchange that I just didn't, that was on Poloniex. I'm like, yeah, I might as well just sell that, which is pretty much not selling any for me, because I got a hell of a lot more than 30 or 40. But basically I sold those coins, and Bitcoin Cash is the one I'm talking about here. This is what happened. I'm old school maybe, and that's just the way it is. And so many ways I know I'm going to stay old school. My music, my movies, I suppose, because I'm like looking to buy a VCR. If you think of nostalgia, basically. The video game nerd, like his movie collection, nothing like that. But I wouldn't mind buying like 100 or so VHS book copies and whatnot, sometime in the future, not now. But old school is what I am. And for cryptos, which really isn't an old school thing, and I didn't really get into cryptos on the old school time. I was calling it a shitcoin for many, many years. I called it a shitcoin. And maybe in the future again, I might. However, what I did is I went to my wallet, and if I'm going to be making a purchase, well, I got to have it in one coin. I'll pay with Litecoin. So I took Bitcoin. First, I took Bitcoin Cash. I took the amount, and I'm overpaying on this too. This is what's really frustrating me about it too. I'm choosing my fee on Bitcoin Cash because I can afford to do it, and it's still like only $1. I'll pay $1. That's a lot of Satoshi that I'm spending when it's $1. $1.25, $1.50. And at first it worked out pretty good, but what I would do, I set my Bitcoin Cash. Okay, then I go to Bitcoin and I send my Bitcoin. Then I check Poloniex about 4 minutes later, and I can see my Bitcoins there ready to sell in the market. Well, that's the fastest or second fastest that I've seen. Usually Bitcoin can take you 20, 30 minutes to get to trade on the exchange. If you need a second confirmation, again, maybe 40, 50, 30, 40 minutes is not uncommon before you get your confirmation or two in and you're good to go. But Bitcoin Cash can... Well, that one took 3 hours or so. It was long. And I pull like 11 confirmations sometimes with exchanges. It just sucks. And I'm old school again. When you're dealing with the wallets, Bitcoin Cash can be addressed in 3 different ways that I can see. It can start with a number 1 like a Bitcoin, which is like the same Bitcoin. It'd be the same Bitcoin number as what it came from. And I think anyway, don't quote me on that. I think it is, but... Or it can start with, like it says like Bitcoin Cash at this will be written in that way. Or I think it starts with a P or a Q. I think it's a Q. Let me just see here. Yeah, it's a small Q. And my Trezor 1 wallet. Yeah, and I have no intention of getting a new one. And if I do, it'd be another Trezor 1. The very first ones, that's the one that I use. And within it, Bitcoin Cash, I have to consistently keep on converting it so that when I send to an address on any exchange, send a 15G whatever, but my Trezor 1 doesn't recognize it starting with the 1, can't send. So I have to go to converter, do the one with the Bitcoin Cash at whatever, and then it works. And then if I want to withdraw, say from Huobi, they won't let me withdraw with the one that starts with a Q. I have to convert that so it starts with the 1. It's just annoying. Against Bitcoin, you can see it's getting its ass kicked. So probably for me, my strategy is to liquidate some of it soon. I mean, it's getting against Bitcoin, it's getting its ass kicked. And I've heard from other people, one person who listens to other people, that it's just getting bad recognition. So I have to make a decision on what to do with Bitcoin Cash. Play my main pair trades for sure, but then I don't want to sell a coin and buy Ripple. Or even buy Bitcoin Cash now. I just don't want to sell any coin to buy these at this stage when I know my goal is to get out of them very, very quick. And Bitcoin Cash I probably won't completely get out of, but I could probably turn it into 6, 7 times, 5 times lower and over time and just get rid of bits and pieces here and there. So that's something that I have really been considering doing. And then just playing it. And I've already done it already, playing less codes. When I was doing this way back in the day, sometimes I'd hold like 40, 50, 60 coins. And heck, it'd be like $40 trades and $20 trades, it seems. And I don't make $20, $40 trades anymore. It's not even close. I mean, the lowest I did is a friend needed like 30, 40 bucks worth of wax. And, well, that was just whatever. Well, I can do it easy. And I did. In fact, to say, can I get some, whatever, it doesn't have a Bittrex account, whatever, which was exactly the case. It's like, yeah, no problem. And then when I make these decisions, risk reward management, where is the funds going to be going into? Yeah, a lot of it is going to be precious metals, gold and silver, because I said this before, but I'm going to say it again. There was a morning a few days ago where I searched for Mitch Marner, graded 10 rookie cards, and I was looking. I knew it'd be a good price, but I wasn't thinking it'd be 4 figures. It's like 1,400, 1,500, 1,600 Canadian. Yikes, that's expensive. And I'm looking at how much silver is worth, and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, maybe silver is that amazing buy. But overall, getting out of cash. Because I was watching a video, actually, recently. This is from the CU podcast, which is CU stands for Completely Unnecessary. So the Completely Unnecessary podcast. And this is a channel that talks about video games. And a lot of it is on the investing side of it and selling and stuff like that too. One of the shows on there is Pat Contry and Ian. Ian owns a video game store, and Pat's got a complete collection. And they had a video talking about how somebody is listing every single licensed game, although 4 or 5 or 6 of them I don't think were working. I know one of them was nicely cost, but for $18,000. For me, would I I wouldn't spend if I was interested in it, I'd be looking to get a better price, first of all. Am I interested in that? Yes. At this time, no, because if I were to put 18,000 into it, it would become a decent sized investment for me. And I bought $800 worth of comic books, and I'm thinking, okay, I can only do so much more on that side just recently. And what they were saying was that is there going to be a market for somebody buying it? And what they did not point out is that there are people looking to get out of fiat currency into something else. Anything else that's not cash. And stuff like that is one of them. Real, actual collectibles, I think, is going to be going through an enormous boom. For years I've been thinking, and it's only getting in the early stages of wanting to do so. Going on a nice flea market trip. And going to different types of assorted shows. Bringing some cash with me, and probably even bringing cryptocurrencies with me as well. And seeing what I can buy. And this is a combination of multiple things where, yes, for the first thing, of course, again, people getting out of cash wanting to buy something else. Because I feel more safe with $800 worth of, I feel more safe with the 40 or so 50 comic books, 30 or 40, 50 comic books, 40 or so comic books that I got than I do with $800 or 40, 20. Actually, it was like, what did I do? It was a bunch of $100. It was 4 100s. And then a bunch of 50s, some 20s. Yet, you know what's interesting? 5 $20 bills has the same value as one brown $100 bill in Canada. Very, very interesting. Anyway, people want to get out of that. Also, this is going to be combined with, well, the depression. We're in it. I mean, it's not a coming one. We're in it now. It's the recession. It's over. It's been, as far as badness, upgraded. As far as how life is concerned, downgraded or whatever for the masses. In the depressionary times. Which means sometimes you need cash. And there's going to be a good general amount of people whom are going to need to sell what they can. I think a lot of them are going to be pretty happy that there's going to be some decent prices available for some of the objects that they're looking to sell. And then, of course, you're going to have people who aren't just regular investors who see that these prices are going up and they've been holding for a while. Prices are going to get up and they're going to get into the selling game. As sellers increase in the market, and then you get buyers going down, that creates tops and everything, and that's just part of normal market movements. Within the buyer and seller games, there's different reasons for that. But I do believe we're in a time frame where a lot of people are just going to be, and I'm one of them too, scurrying out of cash. Like, I still got a lot of work to do, but I'm fine. I mean, I look at it as if the dollar were to die right now, in the sense of it just loses value. First of all, what would happen with gold, silver, cryptos right now? How am I doing with everything? Am I fine with the everything I got could almost be put beside all my newspaper flyers and stuff that goes right beside my fireplace? I'm sarcastic on that, but you get the idea of, yeah, I'd be fine. Because I know there's going to be a time frame that I'm going to have cash that's worthless. Because I'm always going to have it until you don't. And if I'm looking for investment opportunities, one of the easiest things to buy them with, of course, is with cash. So you're always going to have some. But another interesting thing I think of too, and I haven't said this on the channel, is back in the day, in the 80s and 90s, at least for me growing up then, you'd hear, what would you do if you had $1 million? Nowadays, that's an interesting question for two reasons. Number one, well, $1 million ain't what it used to be. So if you're looking at something, it's almost, what'd you do if you had 10 million, 5 million? But no, what would you do if you had $1 million? And first of all, how do you have $1 million? And how did you just get it? Or how much do you have worth of gold, silver, and cryptos? That type of talk. Because if you're worth $5 million and you got $1 million in cash, how? Seriously, how do you have $1 million worth of cash if you're worth 5? You're putting 20% of your net worth in fiat currency? And your net worth is that extreme? Yikes, that's kind of high, don't you think? Because even if you think I need to have cash, because you never know. Well, if you have gold, silver, you have cryptos, you need stuff to buy. That can be buying stuff with it. But so for me, if I just got $1 million, did you just win a lottery? Did I get a big cash? Did I just sell something? Am I going to have it for 5 days? Am I going to just that type of talk? How fast are you going to get out of it? Heck, if you want on a game show and they ask you, hell, you just won $1 million, or you won 4 million, or won 2 million, what are you going to do? Oh, I'm going to get the hell out of this fiat very fast. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to buy that. I'm going to buy some gold. I'm going to buy silver. I'm going to buy Bitcoin. Oh, I might look for some Mickey Mantle high grade cards. Maybe look for a Wayne Gretzky rookie card, PSA 9. That would be sweet. That would be sweet. But I don't want fiat currency because it's going to be going to nothing very soon. At least that's what I believe. Thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.